So today we're going to look at how to translate the ER diagram into a relational schema. This kind of exercise is very frequently occurred during the exercise and exam. So it's very important and make sure you can understand what I'm going to say. Basically, we have three steps to do when we translate the ER diagram into a relational schema. First is to translate the entity into a relation and also the attribute, and finally, the relationship. So let's start with the simplest one, the entity. For example, we have this ER diagram, and we need to translate into a relational schema. We have four entities: course, tutor, student, and lab. So we need four relation to represent these four entities, which is course, student, tutor, lab, and that's all done. And next, let's move on to the attributes. For example, for the course entity, we got ID as key, name, lecturer, capacity as attribute. So we just simply keep them and don't forget about the key. So we got course ID, name, lecturer, and capacity. But also we need to pay attention to two special attributes. That is the derived attribute. For the derived attribute, for example, the student count attribute, we'll just simply neglect them. So that's the reason why you won't see an extra attribute like the student account here. We don't keep it. And the second one is the multi-value attribute. For the multi-value attribute, we need an extra relation. For example, here, the weeks attribute of lab is a multi-value attribute. So we need a new relation. Let's name it lab weeks. For the new relation, we will keep the original attribute as the key and also the key of its original entity as its foreign key. So that's the reason why we get lab ID here as the foreign key. Is that clear? Yes, if you have got any questions, please just ask me. I will try to figure it out for you. Okay, since everyone's clear, let's move on to the relationship. For the relationships, let's clarify that there are three kinds of relationships. The first one is an one-to-one relationship, and the second one is an one-to-n relationship, and the third one is the n-to-m relationship. Please remember, for the first two types, one-to-one and one-to-n, when transferring to a relational schema, we don't need extra relation. And for the third one, the n-to-m, we need an extra relationship. So in this case, we just got one-to-n relationship has labs, and the rest four relationships are all n-to-m. So let's start with the has-lab relationship. For the has-lab relationship, as we clarified before, we don't need extra relation here. So we just simply add an attribute to the n side. Remember, it's the n side because the relational schema in each for the relation, they're all set, so they don't kind of have the multi-value set. Yes, because it's a set. So we will keep it, the attribute on the n side, and point it to the one side. So here we got course ID added to the lab relation, and we will point it to the course side. Is that clear? Yes, perfect. So let's move on to the M2N relationship. Let's see the tutor labs relationship. Since the tutor lab relationship don't get any more attributes, we will just try to figure the relationship between the two entities, right? So here we get lab ID as the foreign key and tutor ID as the foreign key, and no more attributes because we don't get any more attributes, and that's all. Please remember to point it. Yes, point it. So the same goes to the tutor course, enrollment lab. Yes, you can see they're all new relation. So that's all for the translation, and finally we can get the final relational schema. If you have got any further questions, please ask me and I will try my best to help you.